PvE Dragonknight Healer for beginners. Put all 64 attribute points into Magicka. For the Restoration Staff front bar, put on Radiating Regeneration, Fragmented Shield, Energy Orb from the Undaunted skill line, Combat Prayer, your most important heal, Illustrious Healing, the longer duration morph. Front bar ultimate is Replenishing Barrier. We're just using it for the Magicka aid passive under the support skill line for more sustain, so don't actually cast it. For the back bar Destruction Staff, put on Elemental Blockade, the longer duration morph, Cinderstorm, Echoing Vigor from the Alliance skill line, Igneous Weapons, Cauterize. Alternatively, you could run Overflowing Altar. The back bar ultimate is Aggressive Warhorn for major force. If the group needs you to stagger, drop Cauterize and move Fragmented Shield to your back bar. Put Stone Giant on your front bar for stagger. For the monster set, obtain Sentinel of Rakugams, which is base game and easy to obtain. It increases your healing and helps with sustain. You'll need to run Darkshade Caverns 1 Veteran for the headpiece. Join a guild and ask your guildmates for help if you're having trouble. Note that if you decide to run with more advanced groups, the monster helm will vary based on group needs. For the body, obtain the Spell Power Cure set, which gives you and your group major courage, increasing damage and healing done. It drops in the White Gold Tower DLC dungeon. Healing a target that is at full health, known as overhealing, will apply the buff. Ideally, make all your body pieces, including the monster set Divine Trait. Use Max Magicka enchants on all body pieces. For the jewelry and back bar Destruction Staff, obtain Powerful Assault. This set is easy to obtain. You can buy it from guild traders. We're just backbarring Powerful Assault and using the Vigor skill to proc it. Jewelry traits should be all infused with reduced spell cost enchants. This will make it easy to sustain your Magicka. An infused Lightning Staff is the back bar. The enchantment can vary. Here I recommend Crusher so that you can help your group do more damage. Ideally, the Powerful Assault Staff is Lightning so that you can help proc the off balance debuff on enemies. Damage dealers often run the Exploiter champion point, which does a lot of damage if you proc off balance. Finally, for the front bar, obtain the Master's Restoration Staff from Dragonstar Arena, which helps your group sustain. Use Powered as the trait for more healing, and Berserker, also known as weapon damage, as the enchant, which will also increase your healing. The staff does not need to be the perfected version. If the Master's Staff is too difficult for you to obtain, you can buy a Restoration Staff of the Trainee from a guild trader, which will serve as a placeholder until you can obtain the Master's Staff. A crafted Restoration Staff, such as Order's Wrath, would also work. If Spell Power Cure isn't available to you, the Olarim set from Cloudrest gives the same buff, but is a little trickier to use. If neither set is available, two crafted sets like Order's Wrath or Julianos will serve as placeholders until you can obtain SPC or whatever you're missing. Use the Ritual Mundus to increase your healing. The gear body pieces are all traded Divines to boost healing further. For champion points, our three main blue slottables for healer are Soothing Tide, Rejuvenator, and Swift Renewal. The fourth slot is a flex. Typically it's Enlivening Overflow or From the Brink. For red slottables, use Boundless Vitality, Rejuvenation, Expert Evasion, and Celerity. The only green slottable that matters is Steed's Blessing. If you can't afford 50 points into a slottable, just put 10 points into each for now, until you can obtain them all. The buff food is Artean Pickled Fish for max mag and health. It's available at guild traders. Play any race you want. I usually go Breton on my healers as I like the additional Magicka sustain, even though my Dragonknight here is a high elf. The basics of how to use the Dragonknight Healer. Combat Prayer is your emergency heal. If someone's in trouble, spam this until they're okay. Think of it as your main heal or burst heal. It also buffs your group with Minor Berserk, so cast it at least once every 10 seconds. Radiating Regeneration is your cheap spammable. Use this skill whenever your other skills are still active and nothing needs to be reapplied. It's a sticky heal over time or hot, so it hits players without you having to aim it. Useful when a group is in motion. Fragmented Shield is being used to proc Major Mending, increasing your healing done by 16% for 8 seconds. Cinderstorm, Illustrious Healing, Energy Orb, and Vigor are your main hots. Keep them on group and keep them up on cooldown. Don't let them fall off for very long. Vigor is used on the back bar to proc Powerful Assault, but you need to cast Vigor twice in a row for full group coverage if it's a group of 12. Let Vigor fall off for a moment before recasting so that the smart targeting of Powerful Assault works properly. Elemental Blockade combined with the infused Destruction Staff helps proc her enchant and keep it active. If it's a Shock Staff, the skill will also help proc off balance on enemies. Igneous Weapons is used to buff your group with Major Brutality and Sorcery. Only one person in a group needs to run this skill, so if there's more than one, you could use it as a flex spot for another skill. Cauterize launches a heal at someone in your group every 5 seconds to heal them. Passively, it gives you bigger crit heals regardless of what bar it is on, even if you don't cast it. The 5-second cooldown between heal ticks is unfortunate, and normally we don't build into critical healing as a healer, so this skill can easily be flexed for whatever skill you might need to run. It is easy to use and can also be spammed to force the heal to go out every second. However, you should rely on combat prayer for most situations that need heal spamming. Alternatively to Cauterize, you could run Overflowing Altar, which gives a synergy to a player that is about to die that will save their life. You want at least one person running Altar in every group. Aggressive Warhorn is the ultimate to use in combat for major force, which increases group damage by a lot. The group is safer when it can end threats quickly rather than having to manage them for a long time, so damage increasing ultimates are the best choice. DK's Stone Giant provides the unique Stagger debuff to targets, which causes them to take more damage from your group. If you are the only DK in your group, you should run this skill, but it is one of the least beginner-friendly skills in the game. I'll give a short explanation, but if this seems too complicated, don't worry about Stagger for now. Stagger is applied in stacks with Stone Giant up to 3 stacks. The first cast is a channel, and then we need to hit it 2 more times to get the Stagger stacks up to full. Once we are at 3 full stacks, we can keep them up forever just by hitting the target once more with Stone Giant before it falls off. The stacks have a short 6-second duration, so we have to constantly reapply Stagger at some point before the 6 seconds are up, which makes the skill tricky to use. It's also stam intensive for a healer, so you'll want to weave Fragmented Shield frequently in your rotation, as it has a passive effect that restores some stamina. I used the Stagger Tracker add-on by Andy.s to help me keep Stagger up. If you're on console, you'll need to use the default buff and debuff bars to track your stacks.